Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Friday Night Football Blitz. Coach George Howanitz and myself. And Coach, it's been an interesting night. A lot of bang scores. And
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some of these scores of some of these teams. Old Forge just got out of overtime, big win over Dunmore, and you have the Dallas losing to Wyoming area towards the end of the game. So, man, it's just some great games, a lot of scoring. Some really exciting games, I think, all over District 2 tonight.
yeah, absolutely. And some District 4 and 11 scores will sprinkle in there tonight as well. Hey, Jim Roth, 500 career wins in Pennsylvania. What a rare accomplishment that is. But beats Loyalsock it's like 42 or 47 to nothing, something like that. For Jim Roth, you got to see them scrimmage Valley View. Why I'm missing? They're on the other end of things last week. They scored 3 touchdowns in the second half, but hey, maybe they're coming on a little bit.
You know, they're so he should really write a book. I've told him that before, like a coaching book, because I have asked him even the years we scrimmaged, how the heck do you all those state championships, all those those wins, athlete after athlete there, but they're very methodical. I mean, if you ever watch Southern Columbia, he does what he does. He's going to run his wing tee. They come at you with probably 5, 6, 7 plays maybe. They just are so good at running it. It's a tough thing to stop. And then defensively, when you watch them, they just fly around. They're super aggressive. And they dare you in high school to do things you really don't want to do all the time. And that's why I think he's been so successful.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you go up and down. I mean, one of the scores that stands out tonight, Stroudsburg took care of Wilkes-Barre area, and Jake Cow kind of got knocked out of that game, and that seemed to be the difference. But Stroudsburg, the Mounties are a pretty tough team. That was 35-20.
Yeah, another one of those teams, I think, too. They're always a tough team, always in the mix for everything year after year. Good coaching, great athletes. Same thing. They kind of do what they do. And it's tough to stop when teams have been doing the same kind of thing year after year. And their kids come up through the program doing all that. And they do a really good job of getting you in mismatches and obviously putting up a lot of points.
Shamokin all over Lake Lehman, 49-0. I don't know. I heard a lot about Shamokin. They're big, and they have some weapons, and 2-0 for them. They beat Pottsville. Now they beat Lake Lehman. So a good start for Mark Persing's team. Riverside takes care of Hanover area, at Wilkes-Barre area. Carbondale area gets a win 26-0 over Nanticoke. North Pocono beats Pittston area 23-13. Mid-Valley 28-7 over Berwick. We've got the coach lined up, Stan Yanowski, and possibly one of his players at the bottom of the hour. But how about Mid-Valley? Who would have said Mid-Valley is going to beat Berwick?
Well, I told you the other day, I thought they have a lot of great track athletes. They're on that football team, a lot of speed, very athletic. They're, I think very well coached. They have an offensive coordinator, George Pachucci's been there for a couple of years now, and kind of been to some different schools and seen some different things. His dad's like a coaching legend there in Mid-Valley, and a legend in Mid-Valley as a player. So, they have a good thing going, I think, like I said, moving up to 3A, but, catching Berwick, I think at the right time where they're a little on the bad side of football right now for the last couple of years. But, it's the same thing. I think they'll work their way out. Everything works in cycles. Mid-Valley's on a little bit of an uptick now, and Berwick's on a little bit of a downtick. And not surprising, though. I think they're Jacob Lesher, I think, had 260 yards rushing, I saw online. So obviously they did a pretty good job running the ball tonight against Berwick.
Yeah, Jersey Shore, Delaware Valley. Now they played at 6 o'clock tonight because of the long trip. They end up holding off Delaware Valley at the very end, 14-10. So 2 weeks in a row that Jersey Shore's able to get the job done.
Yeah, I just think it's a good indicator, though, of how some of these teams are. Like, people saw Delaware Valley lose to that Florida team last week and probably think they're not very good. And now they come up in a 14-10 close game against a really good Jersey Shore team. Tells you a lot about Delaware Valley. And Jersey Shore being able to beat Delaware Valley tells you a lot about them as well. But I'm going to tell you this, and this happens every year. Delaware Valley might start the year 0-3, and they might end up 7-3 by the end of the 10 games. So don't be surprised if that's not the case.
One in District 11, a lot of people were looking at Bethlehem Freedom, 30-13 over Parkland. And Tamaqua took care of North Schuylkill, 35-17. So those are two scores that, a little outside the area. But how about the Honesdale Hornets, 2-0? They get a win against Pocono Mountain East.
Yeah, same kind of thing for Honesdale. They bring back a lot of experience. Their quarterback's going to be a 4-year starter. Coach has been there now. I think this is 4th or 5th year. So you start to get all these kids through the program. They're playing down a little bit with the schedule. They're a 4A team, but they're able to play down division in the LFC, which will help them, I think, be able to kind of manage their way through the year. And they could do some damage. You get some of these teams get a little banged up, and they can kind of stay healthy. They're going to have a chance here at the end to maybe be the 4th team that slides into that 4A bracket.
And we move along here and look at a couple more scores. Valley View victorious against Crestwood. Now, Shedlock was out. That was a big difference and a big blow for Crestwood. You saw some of that game tonight?
Yeah, I just think, he's so much of their offense. When you take him out of there with his speed and his ability, he's been their quarterback since he's a freshman. This is his 3rd year starting. And coach told me before the game he got a little injury during the week and he wasn't going to play. So the same thing happened really to Valley View. Valley View started a backup tonight in Casey Malsberger, someone who started a lot of games for them last year. And I thought he did a great job coming off the bench, threw some touchdown passes, had a 30-yard quarterback sneak for a touchdown, I think somewhere around there yardage-wise. And, they much different game this week than what they played last week against Scranton Prep.
We mentioned Wyoming area victorious over Dallas area. That was a scoring frenzy. One went somewhere, one went the other, and then eventually Wyoming area made, two more plays than Dallas in that one. Tunkhannock all over Holy Redeemer tonight. And, just some Scranton beat Valley West. And, we're going to check in with Coach Chambers here momentarily. So we're going to take a quick time out. Coach George Howanitz and myself are in the Friday Night Football Blitz. We'll be right back. The Football Blitz is brought to you by Alberigi Insurance. Alberigi Insurance Agency proudly services all your insurance needs for over 60 years. Located at 301 Church Street in Jessup. Call us today for a no-obligation quote for home, auto, recreational vehicles, boats, and business insurance. The Alberigi Insurance Agency, 570-489-6348. Tim Wagner's Sports Corner, your spot for all your MLB, NFL, and NCAA clothing and accessory needs. Come see what Tim carries for every Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees and Giants, Philadelphia Phillies, Eagles, Notre Dame, and Syracuse fan, to name a few. Tim Wagner's also specializes in all your screen printing and embroidery needs. If you're on Sanderson Street in Scranton, you'll need to stop and shop at Tim Wagner's Sports Corner. Century Dental Associates. Century Dental is a state-of-the-art dental office with multiple locations here in northeastern Pennsylvania. We use the latest approaches that are less invasive than ever before. We bring compassion to each individual to help take care of your dental needs in a way that is the best for you. Please call one of our offices or visit our website at centurydentalsmiles.com. All right, we are back here on the Football Blitz here and getting everybody adjusted here. Steve Chumas is with us, the head football coach of Scranton, and Coach George Howanitz. And Steve, congratulations on the victory. Hold on one second, Steve. That's on me. I got you here. 1 second. All right. I got you adjusted there. All right, Steve, welcome into the show and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
You good, John? You can hear it?
Yeah, I can hear him now.
Coach, how about nice win tonight?
Yeah, we got off to a quick start. We scored on our first possession within the first minute or so of the game, and then we were able to take that first half big lead into halftime and then able to rest some guys in the second half.
How about usually week 2, you start to see some kids that have been a surprise, maybe some kids you weren't sure what they were going to be like, and now you have 2 games under your belt. How about some of the guys you have on the team that have really kind of been the guys that have come to the forefront that you really maybe had a question mark about, but they're your guys now?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that we weren't sure because this is their first time starting a football game, and we made big improvements from week 1 to week 2. You saw it on the field. Reese Whitman had a heck of a game against Pokemon West. He had another great game for us tonight. Both of our cornerbacks are doing really well. Shamir Moore, Haven Sims, Memphis Shadows doing a nice job. Brody Coyle is our quarterback, and he's, his first 2 games as a quarterback, and he's improved a lot from week 1 to week 2. Our line has played well. So I think it's just across the board. We bought in as a team, and a lot of guys are stepping up and showing that they're ready to play football here.
Coach, let's talk about, the early schedule for you guys and trying to get off to a good start there at Scranton.
Yeah, Pocono Mountain West, District 11 team, week 1. It was a tough battle up there on the road. They're a good football team. Valley West, they're struggling a little bit the last couple of years, but they have some good athletes out there. So it was very important for us to get off to a 2-0 start, and now we come up and we have a short week here. We have to get ready for a game on Thursday.
You're in a nice spot coming in now. You're 2-0. A lot of the teams are kind of shuffling along a little bit. I mean, you look at some of the scores and maybe surprised with where teams will be sitting in the week 3. What do you think for the rest of the year? Like, what's it look like? And what do you think as you move through these next couple weeks, where you might see some of the better teams coming up?
Yeah, you know how it is as a coach. You got to, the mentality is you only got to look at your next opponent and go 1-0 for that week. Hopefully, we get to go 1-0 against Pocono Mountain East this week. But we know we have, the Lackawanna Football Conference Division I is a heck of a schedule. Every team, every week in and week out. So if we could get to that, get to our schedule there and be in good position and have some good wins under our belt, then, that's much better than being, 0-2 at this point. We're 2-0 and we could build off that.
Well, we've been talking about that with a lot of the coaches because a lot of the teams have a gauntlet to start the year. We had DV on, Valley View was on, so we had Dallas on. So a lot of these teams have these, these big early season games. You think it's helping your team a little bit with a lot of those question marks by having maybe some teams who, aren't kind of at that caliber to start?
Yeah, I mean, I think Pocono Mountain West was a really good football team week 1. We answered a lot of questions there. We had a guy that had to start at defensive end because of a suspension from last year, and he really stepped up in week 1. Now we know we have multiple guys that could play in that spot, and we're answering questions every week. And our schedule might not be as tough as Delaware Valley's to coming out, but it's important for us to just get our wins and build our program that way. And, we're going to be ready when we play, the next team that's up.
Well, no time to rest. You guys are going to get ready for a short week here, Coach. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend and congratulations with the victory.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Good job, Coach. Keep it up.
Thank you.
All right, that is Steve Chumas. Congratulations from Scranton. We'll take a quick time out. We'll be back with more here on the Friday Night Football Blitz.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Locals Only Project. Locals Only Project is an apparel company based right here in our backyard. Their mission is to keep Main Street alive and support mom and pop shops across NEPA. They're slinging some great hometown gear like hats, hoodies, and tees. Check them out at localsonlyproject.com. Guys Barbershop. Hey, sports fans, are you ready for game day? Look sharp with the fresh cut from Guys Barbershop. With 2 locations in Scranton and Oliphant, we specialize in styles that score big. Whether you need a classic trim or a modern look, our skilled barbers have you covered. Join the winning team, Guys Barbershop, where every haircut is a touchdown. Visit us today and show your team spirit. Tasty Freeze and Mini Golf, located on the Scranton-Carbondale Highway in Einan. Open 7 days a week, offering a variety of ice cream, including 25 flavors of Manning's Dairy Farm. Make every day an ice cream day. Enjoy family fun at our 18-hole miniature golf course located behind our store, or relax in our spacious dining room. Tasty Freeze is a great location for children's birthday parties. Visit our Facebook page at Tasty Freeze Treats or stop by.
All right, we are back here on the Football Blitz here on Friday night. Stan Yoski, the head coach for Mid-Valley, jumping in here with us with Coach George Howanitz. And Coach 2-0 and getting a win over Berwick, I'm sure always feels nice. But you guys are just doing what you're doing there at Mid-Valley and big wins.
Yeah, that's the first time we've ever played Berwick, and even last week with Pittston area. So to get victories over, big schools like that from the Wyoming Valley Conference we never played before, you're unfamiliar with them. So the kids have really bought in. They're playing well, and we're excited to be 2-0.
Coach, so piggybacking off that a little bit, that's the question I was actually going to ask you. Have you changed anything, knowing that you're moving up to 3A and knowing that you're going to be playing maybe some of those bigger schools you haven't played in the past?
Well, we got at it in the winter in the weight room, that's for sure, because we knew, we lost some of the smaller schools on our schedule, and every week it's going to be a battle like it was tonight. My son made the comment. He goes, "This was the hardest 28-7 game I've ever played in." So, it was just, they were bigger than us, and most teams are bigger than us, but our kids fundamentally, perform what they're supposed to do, and they just get the job done. Is with the back that we have with Jacob Lesher, they just have to stay on their blocks for 2-3 seconds, and he just is special and sees things that other people don't.
I've been telling John for a couple of weeks now, I'm a firm believer. I've obviously been a track coach, but you can tell at a track season how good a football team's going to be sometimes if they're dual sport athletes. And you have a lot of those track kids playing football for you. Has it made a big difference for you with speed and things like that?
Yeah, Coach Kaz does a great job with the track team, and we encourage them to, play other sports, but especially track. We always ask them, "Are you playing baseball?" "No." "All right, you're running track." So Coach Kaz, he does speed workouts and his flexibility stuff that he does in the winter. He starts with them, but he's been having great success the last couple of years, and that's translated over onto the football field with us.
Stan, let's talk about your defense. I mean, you shut out Pittston, you limit Berwick to a score. Are they kind of flying under the radar a little bit right now?
Well, actually, the score tonight was a pick six, so our defense really has allowed 0 points the first 2 weeks. But, we always preach if the other team can't score, they can't win. And, again, with the offense that we have and the weapon that we have and the guys in the passing game we have, if our defense plays that well, I mean, our linebackers have just been playing phenomenal the last 2 weeks, Gavin Rapuch and Caleb Perry, and our D-line just plugging up the holes, and we're able to rotate guys on the D-line. Most of our guys on our offensive line don't even play defense, so we're fresher. And, coverage-wise, Jacob had the 2 pick sixes last week, and Wyatt Youngblood played great tonight against some taller, faster receivers than him.
So you have a huge game coming up next week with Old Forge, and I know you don't like to look ahead. I think you're playing. I think that's what I just checked. Yes. Old Forge next week. So, and they won tonight in overtime against Dunmore. What do you have to do now to get your kids from that Berwick game, which is, Berwick always brings an aura with them. I don't think it takes much to get your kids pumped up. Is it going to take much this week to get your kids pumped up for Old Forge?
I don't think so. They're pretty even keeled. Every week we just preach to go 1-0. We're just focused on next week. We told them enjoy it tonight. We're back at it tomorrow morning at 9:00, and we'll watch this a little bit. They'll lift a little bit, get some treatment, and then we're on to Old Forge. And Coach Schuback has done a great job, and they were young last year, so they have a lot of experience back. And they were just in a barn burner. We just listened to it on the radio, the finish of it, and it's always tough to go down there and play in Old Forge. The sideline is cramped, and it's just it's kind of like going up to Susquehanna to play. It's just different, and it's grass too. We only have 2 games on grass this year.
The Lesher kid, 6'2", $185. Not many running backs that you'll get coming across with that size. Talk a little bit about his body type and the type of style that he has as a running back.
We got to call him the name Slim Reaper because he's tall and he looks thin. He's very tough though and deceptively fast. But most of all, he has this great vision that you can't teach. Sometimes we'll call a play to the right and he ends up on the left. You're like, what the heck is he doing over there? But he just sees stuff and makes people miss. And he may even be a better defensive player. I don't know. He's just one of the best overall athletes in the area, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, congratulations on the win, Coach. A fantastic job tonight in Mid-Valley 2-0, and head to the Pizza Capital next week for Old Forge. We wish you the best.
Thanks a lot, John. Thanks, George.
Good luck, Coach. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll take a break, and we'll be back with more here on the Friday Night Football Blitz.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Battaglia Sporting Goods, your hometown sporting goods store since 1975.
All right, thanks,
Contact us for your team sports needs, including all kinds of sports equipment, as well as screen printing and embroidery. We carry most major brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Moon Rooster LLC, the leading digital agency in Northeast PA. Moon Rooster builds custom websites and software, runs targeted ad campaigns, and manages social media to drive traffic and boost your revenue. Let them handle the tech so you can focus on what you love. Visit moonrooster.com to get started. Mesco Glass, since the founding of our family business in 1930, Mesco Glass has served Northeast Pennsylvania as the area's leading full-service glass company. In those 94 years, we've expanded to 5 locations. Mesco knows glass, auto, home, and commercial. That's what we've done for 94 years. Call Mesco, 1-800-982-4055. Physical Therapy Associates of Northeastern Pennsylvania, your go-to top-notch care with 3 convenient locations in Old Forge, Hamlin, and Archbald. These pros deliver skilled one-on-one sessions to help you get back in the game faster. Ready to bounce back strong? Give Physical Therapy Associates a call. 570-209-9800. That's Enough Out of You is a weekly podcast hosted by Sean Kane, a Valley View graduate, and Bill Rader, an Abington Heights graduate, whose wife teaches in the Valley View School District. The free podcast explores important historical events and significant figures in history. They're joined by prominent researchers and authors in the areas of JFK's presidency and the assassination, RFK, the war in Vietnam, and many other events of the 20th century. They also talk about sports, pop culture, and occasionally politics. Check out That's Enough Out of You on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts, or go to that'senoughoutofyou.com for more information.
All right, welcome back to the Friday Night Football Blitz. John Mendola, Coach George Howanitz. We welcome in Tom Fiorelli at a Valley View victory tonight against Crestwood. Senior track guy, also a heck of a young man, great football player. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Those St. Ubaldo vases behind him. That's all you need to know. When you roll into the valley and you go to the Fiorelli household, that's what you're going to get as your backdrop right there. Straight out of Gubbio, right there.
Love it.
Go ahead, John. Sorry.
No, that's good. Let's talk about the win tonight. Obviously, their quarterback, was down, but nonetheless, you guys had a quarterback situation, and you guys had to get a win, and you guys found a way to get it done. Talk about what you felt the difference was tonight in the victory, 28-13.
Well, as we all saw last week, we didn't have a great game. Our starting quarterback, Zach Smolinski, he had a little injury, and we just didn't want to get him any more hurt than he was. And we had our backup quarterback, Casey Malsberger, step up, and I really think he did a great job tonight. We had a little bit extra on our shoulders as linemen to, protect him and get him the time that he needs. And I think as a line, we did a great job, and Casey did a great job as well.
I thought you guys were much better up front this week than you were last week. Just staying on blocks and coming in, Crestwood held Wyoming area, rushing wise down to pretty much nothing. So tell us tonight, and I saw tonight, they threw you a little curveball tonight. I saw you played a little defense. So what was it like tonight, going a little bit both ways compared to last week where you only had to play on offense?
Well, it was definitely a change. Usually during defense, our line coach gives us our offensive, what we need to work on and what we need to fix. But I think that I was able to do it and step up. I've played a little defense here and there, and I just did whatever I needed to do to get us a win tonight.
Let's talk a little bit about, playing football, Valley View, the tradition, and, when you come off a tough loss against, listen, we're all hyped up, ready for Scranton Prep, and I don't want to say, just things didn't go your way and you get shut out. You've got to lick your wounds. Talk about, Coach Wasilchak's speech to you guys after that, saying, listen, there's 9 more weeks of football at least. We've got to find a way. Like, I'm sure you might have your head down for a little bit, but you got to find a way as one of the leaders on the team to help everybody get back up.
Yeah, as soon as the prep game was finished, he came out and said, it's over, it happened. There's nothing you can do about it now, but you have 2 options. You can either, rise to the challenge and come back next week and be 1-1,
or, next week he can just crumble and be 0-2. And obviously tonight we did a great job and we were able to be 1-1.
Tommy, when you saw, I'm sure you guys saw pregame that Crestwood's quarterback wasn't playing, tonight. So was there a sigh of relief or any kind of, when you guys go in the locker room before the game at 6:30, was everybody kind of saying, hey, he's not playing, and the mood kind of changed a little bit, or was it the same as it was thinking that he was going to be the quarterback tonight for the game?
There wasn't really a change. We worked all week. We wanted to come back. And I think if he was in there or if he wasn't in there, I think that we still would have had the same result. We had as coach says, we were the wounded animals, and we wanted to come back and prove ourselves, because a lot of people gave up their hope, and we were able to do that tonight.
Well, John, you know how Valley View is, right? The sky's been falling all week with that, the 0-1 start. So this will at least get the guys a little pressure off. And, big game, John, next week against Wilkes-Barre area. I don't know, Tommy, if you looked at them all, but you're going to get a totally different look. You got all run tonight. You're going to get a lot of air raid next week. So, I don't know if you've looked at any film or what you think will change as far as your play for next week.
We haven't looked that much, but coach was talking about a couple of things. I think we just have to change things up, obviously. A lot of it this week we were prepared for run, which we did get, but definitely we're going to have to change things up next week for the passing game.
Yeah, their quarterback went down tonight, Jay Cal. Hopefully he's back for them. Unfortunate situation there. He just took the blow off a big lineman tonight. They came back, scored a little bit, but it's been tough. And Stroudsburg's a pretty good football team, and Wilkes-Barre's got to find themselves, much like you guys found yourselves this week. I expect that to be a coin flipper of a game next week with Wilkes-Barre and Valley View. So should be interesting, Tommy.
Definitely. All we talk about is the district championship. And, that's our motivation. And as long as we continue that, feeling of district championship, I think we can overcome any obstacle that comes in our way.
All right. Well, congratulations on getting the victory. You guys are back on track there at Valley View, and we hope you enjoy your weekend with your family.
Thank you. You too. Have a good night.
Good job tonight, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to move along here, take a break. We'll come back. Harry Armstrong, I think we're going to try to get him on next. We'll be right back here in the Friday Night Football Blitz.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by the Maddock Agency. Since 1972, the Maddock Agency has been serving northeastern Pennsylvania for home, auto, and life. The Maddock Agency prides itself on being an independently owned agency. When you need help, you could talk with a staff member who lives and works right here in Northeast PA. The Maddock Agency has stayed true to its local, loyal roots. That's what our company was founded on more than 50 years ago. Call Dave Maddock and his team today. 570-586-3790. Use Savage Chiropractic. Takes pride in always doing a full evaluation on all patients, including x-rays, to evaluate patients to keep them safe and to determine the best care for their specific needs. Then they use modern techniques to get patients better, faster, and keep them feeling great with maintenance care options after they're pain-free. Along with chiropractic care, they are one of the only offices here in Northeast PA that offers both Class 4 cold laser to speed up the healing process and massage therapy and bodywork to aid in muscle repair and rehabilitation. And Northeast Outdoor Services, a locally run and operated company who offers a wide range of services but specializes in all forms of hardscape, concrete work, along with fiberglass pools and spas. Check us out on Facebook or visit our website at northeastoutdoorservices.com. Northeast Outdoor Services.
Okay, we are back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. George Howanitz and myself and Coach, getting to some of these scores tonight. We talked about a bunch of them earlier. We're going to get to Western Wayne coach Shane Grodak and one of the stars for them, Sean Owens. I mean, what a job against Lackawanna Trail to get that job done, and that'll be upcoming. We mentioned a little bit about Riverside. We're still efforting as these games develop tonight, still reaching out to some coaches and players and seeing how things develop. Some people are going home. Some people have plans already. But nonetheless, it's been fun to just kind of look at some of these scores and say, it's been an interesting night, but pretty much I think it's been a light up the scoreboard kind of night.
Yeah, I think the biggest game for me that really surprised me was the Wyoming area Dallas game, just in points. I would have expected those two teams maybe a 14-13 game or 21-13 or 21-14, like 49-41. Neither one of those coaches right now are going home probably happy in whether it was the W or the L, just in giving up all those points. I don't think. I know both coaches coached against both of those guys, and they pride themselves a lot on defense, and that's that 49-41 is really surprising to me coming out of those two teams out of the Wyoming Valley Conference.
Yeah. Now tomorrow, we might as well give a little preview of tomorrow's game. So West Scranton, Abington Heights, expecting the Comets to bounce back. I mean, West Scranton comes off that 1-point loss to Old Forge.
Yeah, I just think West Scranton is still trying to find their way a little bit, and Abington with all those kids coming back and the quarterback, receivers, and their skill players. I think they'll just be too much. And you're going to Abington to play on a Saturday, which is in and of itself a battle sometimes. So I see that. When you said big game, I thought you were talking about the Pitt game tomorrow. That's where I'll be tomorrow, Pitt versus Kent State, watching Adam play. So when you said the big game tomorrow, I thought that's what you were talking about.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your departure time. What time you leaving?
My departure time will probably be about 5 a.m. The game's at noon tomorrow, so we'll get there for the Panther Prawl, which they walk down right down the street in the stadium. Obviously, they play where the Steelers play, so they walk down with all the band and cheerleaders and everything there, and it's a pretty neat situation, neat thing to watch if you've ever, if you like college football.
Good sleeper. Will you be able to handle the drive tomorrow morning?
I hope so. We'll try it.
Lakeland Holy Cross.
My wife along the way. She might have to grab the wheel a couple times, so we'll get there.
Lakeland Holy Cross tomorrow, and then Scranton Prep and Blakefield tomorrow. So those are some of the games for tomorrow as we get ready for Harry Armstrong, who has endured the bus ride home here from Wilkes-Barre area after the victory against Hanover area. Harry, we appreciate you joining us, and congratulations on the win.
Hey, John, I'm having a hard time hearing you, unfortunately. Is my connection from your end pretty good?
Yeah, we hear you pretty well.
Yeah, I'm having an issue with the volume on my end. Shoot.
We'll just let you talk, and then we'll kind of let it go. So if you can hear that, just tell us about the game tonight.
Okay. Well, tonight's game went really well for us, guys. A little bit of a slow start for us. We were battling some penalties and some unforced errors, but we quickly overcame that. I felt like our guys up front on the offensive line really helped stabilize things. We started off the game with Richie Kostoff, who's been our tight end, our number one guy at running back, and he was a force with us there. So he really played some physical style, ran downhill hard, and set the tone for us. And we had an up and coming player. His name's Carmelo Barnett. He stepped in at some running back stuff too. He's been a receiver for us, and he was like lightning for us out there today. I think he accounted for 3 touchdowns, quite a few explosive plays, getting out on the perimeter for us. So it gave us a nice 1-2 punch out of the backfield with those guys. And Chase Tadonio played like a seasoned vet, did a great job handling our offense and making sure our guys were in the right places, helping some of these young guys like Carmelo make sure they're ready to go with what he needed to do. And so that got the ball rolling for us on offense. And special teams gave us some great field position. Santino D'Amico nailed a 40-yard field goal today for us. So it would have been good from 50, I think. And he did a great job with our kickoff, pinning them back. And then defensively, we're certainly an improved defense. Our starting defense, we probably held them under about 50 yards total. They had a couple big plays down the stretch. But again, I think it starts with our guys up front right now. The guys that stabilized us going on offense, Tavion Branch, Sanique Connell Murray, Graydon Dupree. Those guys were really able to create some pressure on the defensive front, get in the backfield. And whether it was run or pass, they were tough blocks for the opponent. And our linebacking core, I think Quinn Puchalowski is really stepping up for us. And he's flying around, playing both sides of outside linebacker. He's really been setting the tone for us on defense. And I can't say enough for Quinn Puchalowski as well. He spent the first 3 years with us working at running back. We moved him to offensive guard second week of training camp. and he was up for the challenge, and he's doing a fantastic job for us. So he played the first half wearing 55, and he played the second half wearing 26, and he did a good job running the football in the second half for us. But he's having a lot of fun out there too. So I really couldn't be more proud of him for being so unselfish in that regards, and giving up the opportunity to be, an H-back or fullback type player and say, hey, I know I can do a good job and make sure we get our best 11 on the field. So he's been doing phenomenal with that. So that's kind of a quick synopsis of how the game went for us today.
Coach, you have a major D1 lineman, tons of D1 offers, and you have a couple other kids I know in the mix with some D1 looks. Have they rubbed off, you think, on your younger kids and kind of raised the bar a little bit for how to play at Riverside?
Yeah, George, for certain. The two guys that we're referring to, like Tavion Branch, he's up to 10 offers right now for Power 4 schools. And it's not by accident that he's put himself in this situation. And Richie Kostof's been getting a lot of attention. He's got an offer from Bucknell University. But the way these guys have operated on all the other days but game day is really something that is setting a high standard for our guys. And, for whether it's some of the younger players, seeing where Tavion came from just a couple seasons ago, not even playing football, and seeing how he's developed himself, bought into his training, his nutrition, working relentlessly at his craft as both an offensive and defensive lineman. He's brought a lot of guys up with him with that, where he's not doing this on his own. He's bringing the guys along with him. He's essentially an extension of the coaching staff right now. He got so much great experience working with college coaches this spring and summer, getting out there. He brings all those things back with him. He's taking notes after he goes to the camps and clinics. He's working in drills with stuff. So in a major way, he's helped out a ton. And Richie Kostoff is a man amongst boys in regards to how he handles himself. His approach to the game and preparation is next level as well. Richie is in my mind, he's kind of like a self-made type of player. He wasn't always the fastest or most explosive player, but he has worked so hard to get the most out of his ability. And he really is a throwback style of player too. The way he plays all three phases. I mean, we really have to make sure we give him breaks, because he won't come out, and he's got to be. And for the two guys too. I mean, we're not real deep on the roster. They play high energy, high effort. Their conditioning is incredible. You see a guy 300 pounds out there like Tavion, you think they're going to start slowing down a little bit, getting tired. It looks like he's getting stronger and faster as the game's going, because he's so well conditioned. And I got to say the same for Richie. So those guys, from a standpoint of their physical presence, has raised the bar, but what they bring with their character and their attitude and leadership, that you can't put a value on that, what they're doing right now for us.
Well, Coach, congratulations. I know the audio isn't great on your end hearing us, but we appreciate your time, and congratulations on the victory.
Gentlemen, thanks for having us. Hopefully I'll get a chance to see you guys again after another game this season. All right.
Harry, tell Tavion I said hail the pit.
I'll tell him that. All right.
You always got that pit offer. Tell him if you need somebody to stay with. I know
no, Pitt wants him as a D lineman. Penn State wants him as O lineman. I don't know what he wants to play right now. We'll see.
Tell him play defense. Play defense. The money's on defense, buddy.
The money's on defense. All right. He might be going that way then.
Aaron Donald made a lot of money, tell him.
Hell yeah, he did. He's well aware of that. And man, he loves the fact that the Steelers are right there with them. Man, it's awesome. It's awesome out there.
You need anything, you let me know.
All right, guys. Thanks, fellas.
All right. Congratulations. We'll be back here more on the Friday Night Football Blitz.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by Locals Only
Now
Project.
I can hear you.
Locals Only Project's an apparel company based right here in our backyard. Their mission is to keep Main Street alive and support mom and pop shops across NEPA. They're slinging some great hometown gear like hats, hoodies, and tees. Check them out at localsonlyproject.com. Guys Barbershop. Hey, sports fans, are you ready for game day? Look sharp with the fresh cut from Guys Barbershop. With 2 locations in Scranton and Oliphant, we specialize in styles that score big. Whether you need a classic trim or a modern look, our skilled barbers have you covered. Join the winning team, Guys Barbershop, where every haircut is a touchdown. Visit us today and show your team spirit. Tasty Freeze and Mini Golf, located on the Scranton-Carbondale Highway in Einan. Open 7 days a week, offering a variety of ice cream, including 25 flavors of Manning's Dairy Farm. Make every day an ice cream day. Enjoy family fun at our 18-hole miniature golf course located behind our store, or relax in our spacious dining room. Tasty Freeze is a great location for children's birthday parties. Visit our Facebook page at Tasty Freeze Treats or stop by.
Okay, we're back here at the Friday Night Football Blitz here on the John Mendola Show Network on YouTube. And Coach George Howanitz, myself, we appreciate you joining us. So, we're going to talk probably some Western Wayne football. We're efforting here with Coach Grodak. Obviously, sometimes out in the sticks a little bit. Again, that's not disrespectful, but we just want to make sure guys have drives home, from the stadium to their place, and you got to make sure you get a nice stable signal from where they're at. Harry was able to finally hear us there at the end, but sometimes just the difference in the phones, could be a difference as well. Sean Owens, we're also waiting on. Mike Schubeck, we're trying to get him. They're still 5 minutes out from pulling into the pizza capital world in Old Forge after that big trip from Dunmore. So, that's another one. So we're working the phones and trying to get everybody to go. And we might even get to Jacob Lesher here. He was on the field for a long time, and he might be coming on. And I think we're waiting here any second. Might get Lesher. We might get we're kind of take first come first serve right now the way we're going. But Coach Grodak says he's on the video. I don't see him in the room yet, so we're kind of waiting here for him, Coach.
When he comes on, I mean, what a huge win for them tonight. I mean, you're talking Trail, one of the top, teams in their classification in the state, and to be able to, I'm going to say that's a big program win. I mean, we talk about program wins. Sometimes you hear it in college a lot. It's a program win. This is really I would say a huge program win for Wyoming area. And I know their Trail's not a huge school or a big school, but to beat a team that's state ranked like that and to do it quite handily is huge.
All right. We're going to welcome in Jacob Lesher from Mid-Valley. And Jacob, tearing it up there for your Spartans. Congratulations on the victory tonight.
Thank you.
So 260 yards. Are you tired, or it's just, hey, man, it's just what I do?
It is just what I do. The linemen put in the work, so I got to put in my work too.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the track stuff, how that helps you. But the biggest thing Janoski said about you is your vision is incredible out there.
It does. My vision is one thing that helps me a lot because I'm not a ground and pound. I mean, I could be sometimes, but as you can see, I'm about 6 foot, 175 pounds. I don't really have much to me, but the vision and squeezing in through spots does help a lot.
Well, we heard you're the Slim Reaper. That's the word we got from Coach, right? So
that is what they call me. That is my nickname.
Yeah. So did you think tonight coming into the game that you'd be able to do this kind of damage to Berwick on the ground?
I feel like I'm confident that we could do that to any team, especially with the way the coaches set us up, the way they break everything down, being able to block any front, and the amazing line we have. I feel like we can run the ball against any other team.
I want to know if Coach Janoski's son's getting mad that he has to hand the ball off all the time. He doesn't get to chuck it too much. That's the next.
He just wants to win. He just wants to win. He's a good kid. He's always putting in the work. He's always there. He just always wants to win.
How about looking forward? What are you looking forward to now in the next couple weeks with your games coming up? You have any scheduled?
I think we're just gonna keep doing the thing we do. Keep being Spartans. Keep bringing it. Like our defense has been outstanding. We've held each team to 0 points these past 2 games against big physical teams with offensive weapons. So I think our defense is gonna be a huge part of that, and we're really just gonna have to keep putting the work and not get complacent.
Jacob, when you talk a little bit about your love between track and football, is it clearly football your favorite sport?
Football is definitely my favorite sport. There's no other sport like American football.
How about at that next level? As far as, is that something you definitely want to do on that next level?
I'm hoping that I get offers and everything comes in, everything lines up right, that I'm able to play in the next stages.
Good. How about moving forward? Do you see anything in your game that you think is maybe a little different than what some other people do that can keep you doing this 260 a week or the these big rushing totals each week?
I'm not too sure. I mean,
I guess I'm asking you what sets you, 260 is a big, big bunch. I mean, listen, I coached for a long time with some really good tailbacks. I don't think I ever had anybody go for 260.
it is a big number, but I think it's up to our coaches. Coach Pachusi calls an amazing game every time. They're always breaking down, putting in the work, helping us mentally prepare for the games. So I feel like as long as we just keep taking it step by step and mentally preparing as well as physically, that we should be able to keep moving the ball in any way possible.
Well, Jacob, we appreciate your time. Congratulations. Thanks for joining us tonight, and keep it going, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Good job. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Jacob Lesher, and here on the John Mendola Show Network with the Friday Night Football Blitz with Coach George Howanitz and myself. And now we're going to welcome in the head football coach, Shane Grodak, at Western Wayne. Coach, we appreciate you joining us. Big win against Lackawanna Trail. How did you take down the Lions?
Well, good defense. Trail, they run their scheme and they run it well. And, if you can get them in early downs to get off schedule, you got a chance of getting them to punt. And we did that a couple of times today. We were successful to get their offense off the field because they ground and pound you. So, and our players made big plays.
Coach, I told John this week, he made me pick one game that I thought was my upset special. I had to take you. And, I don't know if it was really an upset, but to me, I don't think enough people give you guys enough credit. And I played you enough to know. I told them this week, your kids fly around, super aggressive, usually multiple on offense. And those ingredients usually play well into a lot of your games. So how did that play into a little bit of tonight? Don't tell me it's all defense either, because you put 28 points up on Trail. So it's not all defense.
No, listen, we made big plays when we needed to. There was times in the game that Trail really stymied our run game, our bread and butter, the stuff that we want to do. You could tell from my voice I'm raspy tonight because I was doing a lot of yelling. But we made some pretty big plays offensively. It's key points in the game that really mattered for us, and we were able to punch it in for a score.
How about and listen, like I said, I think Coach Wolf really got you guys obviously trending upward and getting you to part of where you're at. And I know you coached and stuff with Randy. So I guess my question is, like, what have you taken from him, and then what have you added on kind of your own way? Like what's your own little mark on the program?
I will tell you, they say imitation is the finest form of flattery. So I took a lot of stuff that he did. I also served under two other head coaches in Donnie McDonough and Butch Keller. And I really, took the things that I liked the best of what those guys did and have just tried to really apply it to our program. I like, Randy's view on defense, and I really like what, Donnie did trying to spread the ball around, and I love the way Butch pounded the rock. So I've kind of tried to take all three and make it work.
How about loving this guy, Sean Owens, who's with us right now? That always helps when you have a great player to talk a little bit about what this Sean Owens guy does for you for the Wildcats.
Sean's a team leader on the field. He really brings it in all phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. And tonight, all phases of the game, he was a huge part of what happened in the win tonight.
Well, Sean, welcome into the show. Congratulations on the win. And I know Coach Howanitz wants to get to you, but let's talk about, just being a senior and being able to be on the field. We can't hear Sean. I'm not sure why.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go.
Hey, there we go. Can you re-ask the question, please?
Oh, yeah. So, Sean, talk about being a senior and being a leader and being able to be on the field in a big win against Trail tonight.
It feels amazing to be able to lead a team like this, and just having a lot of young guys look up to me. And we got a lot of seniors this year, and I'm just right with them being a leader.
Sean, I'm just thinking here. I'm thinking to myself, don't take that eye black off. That's a huge win tonight. You sleep in that eye black tonight, right? You get up in the morning, you still look like you're ready to go.
Yeah.
But you guys have done a nice job to start the season. We've talked about with a lot of teams how tough their beginning stretch is. You guys don't have any easy week next week. You go right to Wyoming area next week. So I've been asking some of the other teams that have had this, the similar stretch here. Is it going to take a lot to get your team pumped up now to win after playing a state-ranked Trail to now go and play Wyoming area?
I think just the game today is going to hype us up pretty good for this Wyoming game. And even after that, I think it'll just carry on to the next teams.
In case you guys didn't know, Wyoming area beat Dallas tonight 49-41. It was kind of a back and forth, rock'em sock'em robot kind of game, much like Dunmore and Old Forge, which we're going to talk with Mike Schuback momentarily because Old Forge beat them in OT. But let's talk about, how many hours do you soak up what you got until you focus on Wyoming area? You guys wait till the morning? I mean, coach, you're still in the coach's office there. You're already probably working.
Yeah, I'm not going to get much sleep tonight.
Neither is George. He's going to pit in the morning.
Right. If you're like me, that film for next week would have been on already. You'd have already have it broken down. Let's go. John, just tell everybody real quick, because a lot of people may not know. Just tell everybody kind of what positions you play and maybe some of your highlights from tonight.
I play wide receiver and free safety, and today I had one catch for Coach, how long was it?
Over 50.
Oh, a catch for 50 plus yards and a touchdown, and then a big pick six before halftime, and then a good amount of tackles. And I was part of the defense where we had multiple stops on the goal line.
Always humble. Sean Owens, talked to you a couple times, man. I love it. And Coach Grodak, I know you're proud of what he has done and how he's got back on the field. We're definitely going to catch you guys again this year. We truly appreciate your time. Congratulations. Get some rest, and we'll check back with you guys again, okay?
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Have a good night.
Be back on Mike Schuback here on the Friday Night Football Blitz.
The Football Blitz is brought to you by the Maddock Agency. Since 1972, the Maddock Agency has been serving northeastern Pennsylvania for home, auto, and life. The Maddock Agency prides itself on being an independently owned agency. When you need help, you can talk with the staff member who lives and works right here in Northeast PA. The Maddock Agency has stayed true to its local, loyal roots. That's what our company was founded on more than 50 years ago. Call Dave Maddock and his team today. 570-586-3790. Use Savage Chiropractic. Takes pride in always doing a full evaluation on all patients, including x-rays, to evaluate patients to keep them safe and to determine the best care for their specific needs. Then they use modern techniques to get patients better, faster, and keep them feeling great with maintenance care options after they're pain-free. Along with chiropractic care, they are one of the only offices here in Northeast PA that offers both Class 4 cold laser to speed up the healing process and massage therapy and bodywork to aid in muscle repair and rehabilitation. And Northeast Outdoor Services, a locally run and operated company who offers a wide range of services but specializes in all forms of hardscape, concrete work, along with fiberglass pools and spas. Check us out on Facebook or visit our website at northeastoutdoorservices.com. Northeast Outdoor Services.
All right, we are back here on the Friday Night Football Blitz. Mike Schuback, the head football coach of Old Forge, checking in with us. Mike just got off the bus. What a game. It's going to be remembered as one for the ages against Dunmore.
Crazy.
643 Ming Machine. How did you guys do it?
TJ DiMattei, Kale Krishnowski, and basically our offense just made some explosive plays. Won the special team battle with Isaiah Rodriguez kicking and Kale returning them and our return teams. But all in all, I'm very proud of all our kids because we lost one of our top players, our center and middle linebacker early in the first quarter, and all the backups came in. We struggled a little bit with some snaps, and we had a freshman come in and snap the whole second half. And so it's the next man up mentality in single A football, and we've learned that from camp in July out at Stroudsburg University. So I'm really proud of our kids.
Coach, I know last year you played a lot of young kids, right? And you're, not a typical Old Forge kind of year. You guys have been lighting it up for so many years now. So how's it been different now from last year? All those kids kind of, I told John early in the year we did this, like kind of taking your licks last year, and now they're a year older. How different has it been this year compared to last year?
George, you would know the senior leadership is outstanding. You know, I don't want to miss anyone, so I won't name them. But I mean, they really have bought in. You know, we're at 30 some kids right now, 34. I think we had another kid when school started to come out, and we had some kids leave the school. Never mind just leave the programs. They left all the sports. They actually left the school. So we would have been touching around 40 kids if some of those guys stayed. But the senior class embraced all the young kids and said, you're not going to be here just as tackling dummies. You're not going to be here just to waste time or to put a guy in a uniform. You're going to compete. We're going to teach you how to right the ship. And from being juniors last year and being completely competitive and doing their best, they've turned the corner, and now they're starting to push us in the right direction back to where we were, like you said. And listen, either of these games we played the last couple of weeks could have went either way. You know, and John knows, you guys done a long time, and one play here, one play there, we get a only turnover the game in the last 30 seconds. And that stops a drive that maybe they could have taken a field goal to win it. Overtime, you know, they won the toss, so they took the ball. We were going to defer and play offense second, but it worked out. That's what happened. I almost screwed it all up, though, getting conservative. I don't know what we've been just flipping it all over the place, and all of a sudden I get nervous against want to run the eye, and but you know, it's like 10-yard box, and it is what it is. But I'm really proud of the kids.
Mike, to do it like you have, it's like the cardiac kids right now, and obviously you're going to build off of that, you know, the 1-point win and now the overtime win, and you know, you got to welcome in a pretty good football team next week. How are you going to do it? Bang, bang, bang.
Listen, I would challenge anybody to look at our schedule the last 3 years and find me a single A team that's played better teams. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be ignorant, but I mean, man alive, a 5A, and then we got that stud you just had on, Owens, and his team coming up in 2 weeks. Like, there's no rest. Western Shane does a great job. Coach Wolf did a great job up there. We got to go up to Western Wayne in 2 weeks. Like, 3 weeks, you just can't take a play off. And then we got Trail. I mean, so every week is a monumental task for us right now. And, you know, I just can't say enough about our kids. They're showing up. They're asking me what time we're in the weight room tomorrow morning. So I'm really, really happy about their attitude.
Are you happy? Are you happy where you're sitting right now? Like when you're talking about the schedule, I mean, are you happy? I mean, obviously you're happy being 2-0, but I mean, are you happy just in general, how they've played, how they've responded, maybe like tonight, the back and forth, the game? You learn a lot about your kids, I think, when you're down and can they come back and things like that. So are you happy, you think, where you're at sitting right now?
Yeah, George, you know, like years ago, like last year and maybe a few years before that, in 16, I think we had a struggling year. Like, the kids were coming in, they weren't talking ball. You know, they're coming in today, no music was on. They're talking about certain things in a certain formation with certain personnel. And I'm like, they get it. You know, this group gets it. And, you know, it starts with the captains, they're leaders. It starts with the other seniors. They don't want to repeat a last year. So we're really happy where we're at, especially being 2-0. But, you know, no one wants to ever say, oh yeah, being 0-2 is a great feeling. But I mean, for us right now, being 2-0 and the possibility of really getting a good jump on things in our division, there's no easy out. But I mean, I do feel really good about it.
We had Janoski on. He said, listen, we're on the bus. Listen to the old Forge game on the radio. We had, Lesher on, and he ran for 260 yards tonight. It'll just be another test next week. It's probably going to be a heck of a football game, I'm sure.
Yeah, Stan's a good friend of mine, and we talk often, and we probably won't talk this week, but we'll talk after that. But, you know, but no, and Lesher's a hell of a back, man. He's the real deal. Him and Kale are two of the most explosive kids, and I've tried to push on our kids. Look at the difference track makes. Like, people don't realize the difference that running track and really putting yourself in those positions year after year after year, like Krishnowski did, and the guys at Mid Valley and some other guys that are around the league. And, you know, it's just a a building block for you as an athlete. And, you know, we're going to have our hands full. They got some good guys up front, you know, and don't forget, George knows what he's doing. And those guys coach him up there, and they got beautiful facilities, and they got a lot of things going for them. You know, they're in a tough 3A bracket, but they really made a statement tonight.
How about, I'm sure you're not game plan or anything yet for next week, but have you seen the last couple weeks, like, and we've seen this with a lot of the games, I think. We had, like, Wyoming area on last week. They thought they'd be able to run the ball against Crestwood. They went and threw the ball a bunch of times. Have you had to make any of those switches, you know, the last couple of weeks that maybe moving on, to, you know, has allowed you to, maybe you didn't think you could throw the ball as well or run as well, but you've done it, and now it's helping you moving forward?
Correct. Yeah, you're 100% right, George. I mean, we put the empty package in. We've had it. We've always run it. We've ran it from the days when my son was here to when the James was here to when Brendan Wall was here. So all the guys that flung it around, you know, they love that. You know, they love that. But for us, it all starts with pass protection. So like the guys up front have to know the protections, have to know what's covering, what's not. And we started noticing it last week against West when they just looked really out of sorts in the back end. And what I remember from coaching in the Big 33 a couple months back was space kills, you know, and we've always had that philosophy here with exceptional athletes. But, you know, when we sat in those meetings for that week of preparation, you really see some top tier athletes. And I knew we had something with Kale. And we have Chris, and we have a couple guys on the edges like Frankie and Robbie and Ryan, and we have Big Zay out there. So it gives us a little bit of diversity where teams got to pick it, you know, figure out it. And right now, DiMattei's seeing the whole field, and then he's a liability scrambler. So, I mean, do I want to put him in that? He actually called the play. I said, dude, it's week 2, relax. You know, or he wanted to run it. And I'm like, calm down, but he's such a leader, you know, he's such a win at all costs, no matter what. If I got to sacrifice, and look what he did right before the half. It was an incredible play. I mean, it's changed the whole dynamic of the game.
Yeah, having some of those guys you can lean on, that they're just, you know, great young men at Old Forge, with Mike doing a great job. How many hours sleep you getting tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm getting too old for this, I think, you know, guys. You know, but I'm having a lot of fun with the kids, and I'm really proud of where football is for Old Forge. We have a lot of young kids. Our 7th and 8th grade has a good number of kids, but you know, the coaches all are doing a great job, and I wouldn't be here without them. But you know, hey, next week's another great challenge, and it is what it is. You know, you just line up and play, and we're playing. We have nothing to lose right now.
There's got to be a free pizza sitting somewhere for you right now. When you win there, there's got to be something somewhere.
I'll tell you what, I got a guy. So I text him. He was one of my former players. Said, dude, I'm starving. I need something. He goes, I got you. I'll go back and hook you up. So I got a mixed field green salad coming, and he said he'll get me something else. So I don't know what that's a prior, but we'll be good.
That's the Old Forge line right there. I got a guy. That's what they always say.
I got a guy. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, congratulations. We appreciate you joining us tonight. And what a heck of a win in overtime against Dunmore. And we'll hopefully talk to you again sometime this season.
Yeah, it was a great win. You know, and like I said, our hearts go out to Sonny and his family and all the Dunmore faithful. It was an emotional night. You know, what a great program, and Kevin does a great job. So the sky's the limit for them too. They're going to be somebody to tangle with at the end of the year. I guarantee it. And we were lucky to get out of there, you know, so it's on to the next one.
Good luck, Coach. Great
All
job.
right. Thanks, guys. Great talking with you.
Yep, good to see you. Mike Schubeck here on the Friday Night Football Blitz here on the John Mendola Show Network. George Howanitz, you better get to bed. You've got to be up early to get to Pitt. I got some, you know, sports going on as well for the family tomorrow. But we appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We had some great interviews and some great content and some interesting scores tonight. So, George, we'll see you again next week. All right.
Great football going on. Hopefully go to again next week.
All right. Friday Night Football Blitz here on the John Mendola Show Network on YouTube. We appreciate everybody joining us. Have a great